Hi, I'm with Overtone Labs. I'm here to introduce you to a new and innovative drum product, the TuneBot. Now, drum tuning has always been difficult and time-consuming, but the TuneBot's going to change that. TuneBot is the first device to quickly and accurately measure a drum's pitch. Now, TuneBot's got a handy little clip to clip onto your drum's hoop and a microphone to pick up the pitch of your drum. Now, TuneBot's able to pick up the fundamental or overall pitch of your drum as well as the lug pitches, so you can really get your drum in tune with itself. Also, TuneBot's able to save the pitches of your drum so you can return to the same sound again and again. Now I'll show you a little bit more about how the TuneBot works. Before I get into the specifics of how the TuneBot works, I want to talk a little bit about how a drum works. Now when you hit a drum, you get three main pitches coming from the drum. The fundamental or overall pitch is the top and bottom head resonating together. Now that's going to be the lowest pitch, and it's also going to be the loudest pitch that you hear. Now the top head has its own pitch, and that's going to be higher, and there's another pitch coming from the bottom, which is also going to be higher than the fundamental pitch. Now, different combinations of top and bottom pitch can give you different types of sounds. If you tune your top and bottom head to the same pitch, then your drum's going to have a long sustain, be really resonant. Some people like to tune their top and bottom pitches far apart, and that gives you more attack, a shorter sustain, and that can be useful for studio recording. You're really going to have to experiment for yourself and find out which kind of sound suits you best. Now I'm going to show you how to get the drum in tune with itself. Now the idea here is to try to get the pitches at the different lugs to be really close together. Now when I hit a drum, there's a number of different pitches that come from the drum. There's the overall or fundamental pitch, which is the lowest pitch that the drum produces. And there's also pitches coming from the bottom and top heads. Now if I'm tuning the top head, I'm only concerned with the pitch coming from the lugs on that head. So there's a few different ways I can obtain readings for this pitch. I can mute the bottom head by placing the drum on a stool or on the floor, and that way I'm not going to pick up the fundamental or the pitch coming from the bottom head, and I'm just going to be able to pick up the lug pitches. Also, I can pick up the lug pitches on the stand as well. I can do that by first hitting in the center of the drum to establish the fundamental or overall pitch of the drum. Right now it's at about 160. Now the pitches at the lugs are always going to be higher than that. So to suppress the fundamental, I'm going to put my finger in the center of the drum, and now I'm going to hit by one of the lugs. As you can see, this reading is much higher than the fundamental. Now we have a mode called the filter mode to make it so when I'm hitting at other lugs, I'm not going to pick up the fundamental anymore. So the filter mode makes it so it only reads a certain range around the latest reading. So right now I'm filtered to 294.2, and this asterisk here shows you that the filter mode is on, and the filtered number is put up in the reference display. So it's only going to pick up frequencies similar to 294.2. Now I can hit around the drum at all the lugs, and I'm not going to pick up the fundamental or pitches from the bottom head. Now the idea here is to get the pitches close as you can to the same pitch. So if I loosen this lug, now it's gone lower. I want to bring it back up to 295. Now by going around the lugs and adjusting them until the numbers are similar, your drum can be in tune with itself. Now we also have another mode of tuning the drum called difference mode. Now With difference mode, I can use one lug as a reference lug. So if I want to use this lug as a reference lug, I'm going to first hit this lug. Now I'm going to press the filter button again, but I'm going to press this difference button, which is set that lug as the reference point. So it's set it to 0. The lug's pitch is displayed in this reference value here. Now when I hit at other lugs, it shows me how much higher or lower they are than the reference lug. So you want the reading to be as close to 0 as possible. So that lug is a little bit higher, a little bit higher. That one's right on. This one's a little low. I'm going to tighten it. A little more. Pretty good. So by getting all the lugs close to 0, your drum is really in tune with itself. Now a handy feature of the TuneBot is it's able to pick up the fundamental or overall pitch of your drum. Now when you're listening to someone play the drums, the fundamental is the pitch that you're really hearing. It's the lowest pitch that the drum produces, and it's also the loudest. Now if I hit in the center of the drum, TuneBot picks up the fundamental. Real simple. Right now my display is in hertz, and I can also have my reading displayed in notes as well by pressing this note button. If I press it again, it goes back to hertz. This number here just represents which octave you're in. So 3 means it's in the 3rd octave, and then E is the note that it's closest to. Now this dial here shows you whether you're sharp or flat. The needle here is pointed towards the minus area, so it's kind of flat right now. So let's see if we can tune this up and get it more of a real E. Now you want to just tune in small increments around the drum to keep it in tune. Bring it up just a little bit more. Perfect. Once you've found the sound you like, you're going to want to save that sound. So if you're changing your heads or your drum's just really out of tune, you can get back to the same sound over and over again. Right now, I want to save the pitch of the top head. So I'm going to hit by one of the lugs. And once I got that reading, I'm going to select the proper save slot. Now as you can see here, right now drum is flashing. So now I can scroll between types of drums, being it snare, tom, or bass. I'm on a snare, so I'm going to leave it at snare. Pressing the drum save button now goes across, and now I have a number flashing. And I can pick a number 0 through 9, but you can't use 0 as a save slot. So I'm going to use 1. Press the drum save button again, and now head is flashing, and I can choose between top, bottom, or open. It's the top head, so I'm going to leave it at top. Now press and hold the drum save button, and now it's saved that reading, and it's displayed in the reference area. Now even if I turn the TuneBot off, it's still going to remember that value. I'm going to repeat that process for the bottom head as well. And now every time I tune to the same pitch at the top and the save value for the bottom, I'll get the same sound that I liked earlier. If you're having problems getting your drum in tune with itself, there's a few things you can try. If you've been tuning on a stand, you can try tuning on a stool to mute the opposite head. This way, when you're hitting by the lugs, you're not going to pick up a fundamental pitch or any pitch from the opposite head. Now if you prefer to tune on a stand, you need to make sure that you're using the filter mode and that you're filtered to the correct pitch. Now to do this, I recommend first hitting in the center of the drum to give you your fundamental pitch, and then hitting at a lug to give you your lug pitch. Now if that lug pitch is not significantly higher than the fundamental pitch, you've picked up the fundamental pitch, and that's not what you want. So in that case, you want to place your finger in the center of the head, which will mute this fundamental pitch, and then hit by the lug. Now you've got your true lug pitch. Once you've got your lug pitch, you want to hit the filter button. And now that pitch is going to be displayed in the top left corner, which is the reference display. Also, an asterisk will be displayed on the screen to let you know that you're in filter mode. Now you can hit around the drum at all the lugs and you're going to get the lug pitches. Now it's possible in some cases to pick up a higher overtone, higher than the lug pitch, and this is an unwanted pitch. If that happens, and you'll know that it's this unwanted overtone because it's going to be more than twice as high as the fundamental pitch. So in this case, you want to put your finger 90 degrees or a quarter of a circle from the lug that you're intending to measure, like that. And once you've got that pitch, press your filter button and proceed to hit all the other lugs. If your drum is really out of tune, it's not going to produce a clear pitch. In that case, I would recommend detuning your drum all the way and then tuning it back up using the cross lug pattern and tuning in small, even increments. Now once your head is seated and there's no more wrinkles in your head, then you can proceed to using the TuneBot. A note on the difference mode. You need to make sure you're in a save slot 0 in order to use the difference mode to reference one of your lugs. If you're not in a save slot 0, you're going to be using a previously saved value or 0 as your reference point. It'll be 0 if you don't have a saved value in the save slot. But whenever you turn on your TuneBot, it's going to be in save slot 0 by default. I think that covers all the features of the TuneBot. If you have any questions, please refer to www.tune-bot.com and check out the How to Use section. Thanks for watching.